다 인라드만디 망이 내도 뭐냐들이야 또 강조를 네 차차로간에 르마 이성을 사거든 르그 기와 까고 기와 사와 인생으로 저거 르그고를 사와 참아 인생으로 제체하게 사대 기발에 사당 고와 인으로 제바 될 주소라 봐 르그 자체와 같은 차거든 노요래 이제 문제 초바사도 사서야 되고 말이지 나르고는 사대 동발로 봐 하다 힘봐 취시봐 제라서 생기는 힘도 책이겠지 남나요 그 아주 잘 이 루마 이 사람 똑같은 이게 사 저거리 이게 사는 뒤 뒤쪽도 사지 남system을 되네 사지도 다시 버리 진짜 잡아지나 소름 잡아봤다 그거리 그래서 같이 막 이렇게 사도 그러면 이게 진짜지 이거 사 타마를 대바 심리 맞으니까 사 같은 타면 내가 쏘는 초조 그거 이게 바탕 걸 맞고 사지에 산속도 사다 타를 보용 이게 사 대바도 좀 지내야 이가 그더니 나한테 그거래 살았잖아 좀 돼야지
So of those 7 limbs that we have explained, when it comes to actual practice, what we must keep in mind most importantly, in the context of prostration, we talk about 3 types: the prostration of body, speech, and mind. The prostration of the body is the actual physical prostration, but not only that, but also any virtuous activity we engage in with our body. For example, helping others. Any activity basically that we engage in with an altruistic mind, that we engage in with our body, becomes just like a prostration or like a circumambulation. Helping others, for example, or helping physically working at a center, Dharma center, for example, all of that belongs to prostration. So in order to call it prostration, there is no need to actually place your crown to the ground and physically prostrate, but all these virtuous physical activities are under the domain of prostration or physical prostration. And then there is the verbal, the speech prostration, and that is anything virtuous that we speak, recitations or mantra recitations or teaching the Dharma. Even if we just say 4 lines to others that benefit them, it becomes a speech prostration. And of the 3 types of prostration of body, speech, and mind, most important is the prostration of the mind. And that means to cultivate faith in your mind. If you just think of the Buddhas of the 3 times for only an instant, but with great faith, and thinking all these Buddhas are so precious, you accumulate the greatest merit. If you remember the Buddhas 100 times, you accumulate merit 100 times. So sometimes people worry and think that I cannot do any physical prostration, but there is no need to worry, because the physical prostration is more ordinary. If you prostrate physically but lack any faith, you do have some temporary merit, and you also purify some obscurations, but you are still far away from the actual Buddha, the attainment of enlightenment, if you lack the faith in your mind. But if you give rise to faith, if you give rise to the mental prostration for only an instant, in that instant self-grasping collapses. And so that is the general meaning of prostration.
那么刚刚讲的7支供养，那在这个接下来讲，就是说我们在修习的时候要有什么样的正确的了解。首先我们讲到礼敬诸佛或者是礼拜，我们在礼拜的时候，我们可以用身口意3个层面来讲。当一个人是以利他之心做出发点，他所做的一些帮助人的一些行为，这个时候呢，他的所有的行为，助人的行为，利他的行为，就好像在礼敬诸佛一样，也像在绕佛塔。甚至一些在协助一些法教中心、佛法中心的，也算是说用实际的行动来礼敬诸佛。那么我们应该了解，礼拜并不一定是说做大礼拜，身体来做大礼拜，这才叫做礼敬诸佛。再来，接下来讲到语，身语意的部分。语的层面呢，一个人能够讲出善言，那么能够持咒，能够用法布施来教导人家佛法的要义，以利益众生的话，这都是在语方面的一种礼敬。当我们对人家讲解佛法的时候，即使短如4句偈来讲，也有很大的功德的。那么更重要的就是我们的心的层面的礼敬。什么是心的层面的礼敬？就是要有信心。我们要对三世诸佛有长养无比，对三世诸佛无比的信心。当我们对诸佛有无比的信心，就有无比的功德。我们有100倍的信心，自然有100倍的功德。那有些人讲都说我身体不好，有种种的病痛，有种种的限制，没有办法来做礼拜，我没有办法礼拜诸佛，怎么办呢？那其实你不用担心，身体上的礼拜跟礼敬诸佛其实是最一般、最粗浅、最世俗的层面的礼敬诸佛。你如果说一个人身体在礼敬诸佛，但是心里面没有到位的时候呢，那这个人还是离佛甚远的。那么我们知道，最重要的是要在心里面生出无比的信心。那当你升起无比的信心的时候，我执就自然去除消融了。
对了，你刚才你就讲的什么？这同学打巴掌，他这个就要这同学了，那差那个种种不得了，说把你就给完了的呢，你这不真就会有来去。他这个上去同学都知道过，那他不有来。
And so then, as a result of the physical virtue that we accumulate, we purify temporarily. We purify the obscurations and the negativities that we have accumulated with the body, and then ultimately, also in all future lifetimes, as a result of physical virtue, we will be free of illness and obtain an excellent body. And ultimately, as we attain enlightenment, the virtue of the body becomes the cause for accomplishing the Vajra body.
所以就身的功德来讲的话，如果说我们能够净化自己的这个自心的话，那么在暂时来讲呢，能够去掉我们身体跟身体有关的执着跟这个障碍。从终极来讲的话，一个人可以获得无病的色身，良好的色身。当一个人能这样做的时候，在将来证悟的时候，他的自己的色身就能够成就一个金刚身。
他那里故说他个对老说把他们通了的长期用电线交通去什么说这个长期用电线长期无上那已经通过了不做这不个上좀 하여튼 치보려고 했지 정신은 이래들이 저기 어디 살아 송을 좀 그래 다가가 송주고 거다가 송주고 그래 소속을 내 한마다 받아 다 손을 사지 무셨더니 내가 제떡 그래
Well, for example, if you see an image of a Buddha, like a Tanka, for example, and you understand the qualities of the Buddha, and you think, I take refuge in you, you see this image of the Buddha to be the actual Buddha. And that is what that image really is. We call that an artisan or like a creator at Nirmanakaya. So it is very meaningful if you understand the actual meaning of the Buddha. Also, for example, in a story of Atisha, there were stories where an image of the Buddha in a tanka or also in a statue have actually directly spoken to him. And that happens when we purify our negative karmas, and then the Buddha's activities will actually be perceived.
那举个例子来讲，当我们看到佛像，有如唐卡上的佛像的话，我们能够意念佛的功德，然后升起一种皈依之心的话，我们把它看成如同真佛在我们面前，那它就是我们内心营造出来的一种化身。所以在这边我们应该了解佛身的种种功德。在过去阿底峡祖师曾经有这样子的经验，因为他把佛像是等同是真的佛，那有一段就是佛像跟他有一个对话，对他有开始的这种记录，所以我们在看到佛像的时候，内心也要这样子的了解，就是他就是佛的代表，也能够意念佛身的种种功德。
我这个因波送，我这个波可以呢，我这就我的他da，去了朋友开门吧，真的是开门不搞的。这趟就告诉了，那个就好像，就我马上给，给了那种的就马上说啥，就不听了他da，留着那上面吧，什么都还没有查的，有的听了听了，哦，我去了为了这啥的，哦，俺们那个菜的这种上个月的，今俺家的有的，三年半多的东西样的，让我没把那个说上的，告诉了，你就他刚样没把关系，俺之前的有的。Pero so cha tangji basi so cha chung ju ko nga ji che bo lam lang ji ji de yo na ke pha tho gong gong ji lo ko do we ji ni de ko ni ba kan yo ma nga ji shi ba de ju chi bo rang ni ba kan yo me ba ni de de ko cho de ba ji ko cho de jap cho shi ni ne ka ta tha tho de wa tho ku yo le ko cho yu nan ji shi ba de cha bu yin de
And it is said that the prostration is the antidote to pride. And how is that? There are some people, for example, who do not accept any religion. They do not accept reincarnation, past and future lives. And due to some virtue they have accumulated in a past lifetime, like generosity, for example, now in this lifetime they maybe will not be sick, or maybe they will not experience any mental suffering, And then they may just pridefully think, I have no need for any religion, I am fine in this life as it is, I have no need for any religion. So that is a prideful mind. But then later on, after they die and come into the Bardo, without any choice or independence, they will experience great suffering. They will follow along their own actions and experience great suffering. So that sort of pride really is not a pointless pride. For example, if you think about a small little insect, there's this little insect who are very small and very vulnerable, but then still they make themselves really big and they think that they are very powerful, but actually they don't have any power, they just think that. So that is a great fault in pride. One has that pride, but really one doesn't have any power. And so we must therefore again and again cultivate faith in the three jewels and seek the refuge into the three jewels. And then we will obtain the temporary and the ultimate happiness. So when we engage in prostration, we must cultivate faith, and then it becomes an antidote to pride.